Lots of plays didn't know how to balance their info, so they would do all the lit review and not bring in their analysis like special like weeks of reviews. Like, it's just I actually know. Guys.
Okay, stay with me. When did I show in the semi-later powers and then replace the position of dollars? I believe that sexism is the mere common strategy in advertising and should be monitored. Advertising should be filtered to prevent raunchy photos, sickening stereotypes, and unrealistic expectations of each sex from flooding society. Yeah! Okay, good job. I don't want to know fair sexism in advertising media. Once you notice it, you see it everywhere. Unfortunately, at certain times, I have been affected by a photo or a commercial in a negative manner. I found it happen frequently, and I've wished for there to be a way to control the advertisement, meant for consumers like me, to steer away from the poor choice of sexism as a selling tactic and focus on the product itself. We all have clearly witnessed some form of sexism, especially in advertising, and it unfortunately relates to all of us, as we are placed into disturbing categories solely based on poor advertising choices, aka the use of sexism. Anyone who has identified themselves as a particular gender is affected by this. This is a truly high amount of people, as that's pretty much everyone in the world. I'm going to share some fine examples of sexism in advertising to convey how extreme it has gotten, and that we need to be more aware of this tactic and turn away from it. First, let's begin with what exactly sexism is. According to a 2010 book, Sexism in America, sexism is the prejudice based on stereotyping because of one sex. In the book, Bird states that sexism includes attitudes that support discrimination, such as stereotyping sex roles and generalizing genders as a whole. Even though there are certain laws that are meant to put a stop to sexism, as in the workplace, advertising has been infiltrating society with a strict strategy of attracting consumers through the disrespect of pretty much everyone. Advertisements use laws similar to that of the workplace, but formatted to fit advertisements. Every day advertising occurs, which makes it even more difficult to turn away from sexism. Sexism has been blown up through our society, which in turn has negatively affected its members greatly. Stated the 2008 provocateur images of women and minorities in advertising. Advertisements overall are easily influenced, persuasive elements of everyday life, but unfortunately exist to form and strengthen gender stereotypes. Ads almost always contain gender stereotypic ideas and pictures. No one can escape being affected by these ads, as more than 90% of all American families own television, and the average person views over 700 ads per week. In Cortez's text, advertising is known to have a lasting effect on beliefs, values, attitudes, and violent behavior. Of course, it's an unintended process. You're not aware of it occurring. From Can't Buy My Love, How Advertising Changes the Way We Think and Feel, it is stressed that advertising contributes to social problems such as the mistreatment against women, eating disorders, and even stereotypes against men and mistreatment of men. With the increasingly thinner ideal, women's frustrations with their body image and even eating disorders have increased. Women are objectified, dehumanized because of appearance, weight, and race all the way to their eye color, which turns them to be more self-critical. It also is possible to see sexism within a gender in addition to criticism from the outside world. Members of the same gender can definitely criticize themselves with arguments rooted in sexism. For example, women criticize each other for being too masculine sometimes, and even defying traditional ideas about gender roles and how women should behave. Females should support other females, the same goes for males. Sexism in advertising has become more prevalent and obvious over time. Sometimes it's as if advertisements make fun of their ads. They acknowledge that they are being sexist, but they still go with it to attract consumers. Advertising now is stronger in contributing to the social problems I have mentioned. First, the author of Sexism in America states that the 1970s helped set the concept of women as second-class citizens in America, but one could say that sexism is probably America's default setting, as now in the 2000s, advertising companies favor the strategy. Now that we know what sexism is and how it is from an advertisement and its effects from the advertisement, I will speak on what can be done to prevent these sickening ads. Sexism in advertisements must be filtered and prohibited by the consumers if anyone. Media advertisements would appeal to more consumers if they turned away from this typical strategy that sex sells. In the 1999 book, Can't Buy My Love, it focuses on advertising affecting the thoughts, behavior, decisions, and feelings of consumers. In the book, it is stated that if companies focused on their products being produced in their advertisements, they would still sell as much as they do in using sexist ads. People would still purchase bread or soap or beer or anything else. Even a car if they needed to with less sexism in ads. Sexism provides more entertainment than anything the product being sold. It might even help sellers if they legitimately focus on the quality of their product instead of a woman-only and stagnant stereotype. We as consumers need to make an effort to keep sexism out of everyday advertisements. We can throw away the term sex sells in advertising in popular culture. In popular culture, data states that consumers should have a voice in eliminating sexism from advertisements. The government and even social media should start to raise awareness of it and bring more people into the movement. Even though ads may be found less entertaining, that is not their purpose. Advertisements should be ethical when being exposed to such a large population. The ad should be marked as dire content to keep them from reaching the public. There can also be guidelines on the body and self-image when the ad is being advertised in print and broadcasting media. The government can take a part in filtering advertisements by ensuring that ads are focused on the product hoping to be sold and not straying into sexism. The bottom line is that if a company's product is truly something to be marketed, they would not need sexism to sell it. In Sexism and Decency in Advertising, it mentions that standards of advertising free from gender discrimination were developed and then signed by main advertising unions and newspapers. People can then generate groups of active participants to monitor advertisements and find cases of sexist ads. There have been some instances where people send in complaints because of certain ads and then the actors disappear. This is possible. We also need to make it happen. In conclusion, the advertising world is part of contributing to sexism, but so are we as we continue to buy into it. Sexism in advertising has negatively affected society, and as members of this society, we should care and we should want to stop it. Companies can use other methods of selling their products. We will still buy it some right way. This is not just a college speech. This is a huge issue that we need to take action on and start changing. I always think what the next big thing will be that people take a stand on, and now I hope that it is it. Thank you.